Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of the Destiny Weapon Review. In this review we'll be taking a look at the exotic pulse rifle, Bad Juju. Bad Juju is a high rate of fire, low impact pulse rifle. Each burst fires 3 shots. The weapon has the full auto upgrade default on the weapon, but this does not make the weapon truly full auto. It simply allows you to hold down the trigger instead of pressing it every time to fire a burst. For the purposes of this video, all graphics on screen will show the number of shots required to kill targets, but I'll mention bursts as well when applicable. In PvE, it takes a very wide variety of shots to take out low and middle tier enemies. Without critting, some of the mid tier enemies and Cabal can take half the magazine or more to take down. Note that with armor piercing rounds, while it shows that it increases impact on the stat page, it does not actually increase your damage per shot. However, using soft ballistics will decrease your damage as signified on the stat page, making some enemies take 1 more shot to kill. High tier shielded enemies require 12 shots to fully remove their shields. Fallen Captains and Hive Wizards take 5 shots to the head or 15 to the body, Vex Minotaurs take 15 shots to the body, and Centurions require even more. In PvP, each shot deals 18 damage to the body and 27 to the head. Once again, armor-piercing rounds have no damage effect. It takes anywhere in between 3 to 4 bursts or 8 to 11 shots to guarantee a kill on a target. 7 headshots is 189 damage, which is not enough to kill a target. The fastest that Bad Juju can kill someone is just under 1 second, with 4 to 5 burst kills taking around 1.5 to 2 seconds. Bad Juju's rate of fire is high at 450 rounds per minute or 150 bursts per minute. Its reload speed is slightly above average at 2.4 seconds, but through upgrades you can completely avoid the reload process. Magazine capacity is below average for high rate of fire pulse rifles at 24, with a maximum reserve capacity of 291 rounds. However, this below average capacity is very much intended due to the weapon's main bonus. Bad Juju's handling is a little above average. The recoil on the weapon is a little bit awkward. When you fire your shots, the sight tends to bounce very high into the air, but after your shots have been fired, which can be disorienting. Watch here as I shoot the weapon. My shots stay clustered, but the weapon bounces high after the shots are completed, almost as if the shots are coming out below the green dot sight. Regardless of that, the weapon will typically kick straight up. Full auto fire will gradually send the weapon straight up and will not settle back on its original position, so the weapon does need a little bit of control when used in this way. The weapon excels in close and mid-range, but falls off rapidly once you get past that range due to the spread and recoil of the weapon. Aim time is 250 milliseconds, with weapon swap time being around 1 second. Hip fire performance is decent at close range, but should be aimed whenever possible. As for the upgrades, the first column features smooth ballistics, soft ballistics, and smart drift control. Soft ballistics reduces impact while increasing range, and smart drift control slightly increases stability at the cost of range. None of these upgrades are significant enough to have a large impact on your gameplay though. However, I would not recommend soft ballistics as the weapon is already weak and the trade you'd be making is not worth it. Soft ballistics has very minimal impact in PvP. Your body shots still do 18 damage, but your headshots will only do 26 damage instead of 27. However, this does not affect time to kill at all. The first main upgrade on the weapon is hip fire, which increases your accuracy while firing from the hip. While a noticeable improvement, this is not a very utilized bonus, being reserved for only very close engagements. The second column of bonuses consists of armor-piercing rounds, send it, and perfect balance. Armor-piercing rounds gives your shots the ability to penetrate certain surfaces, although their effectiveness was reduced in patch 1.1.1. As stated earlier, it does not increase your damage. It also says it slows down weapon handling, but I did not notice any effect. Send it dramatically increases your range and accuracy, essentially doubling the effective stat, making it so your damage does not drop off as quickly at range and increases the distance at which your shots actually do damage. Perfect balance further increases your stability, decreasing the recoil between bursts and decreasing the overall kick of the weapon. The second main bonus and reason why the weapon is usable is String of Curses. String of Curses instantly reloads your weapon when you get the kill shot on a target, and it does not take ammo from your reserve to do so. String of Curses also gives you the crowd control bonus, where after every kill, you gain a 15% damage buff for 3 seconds. Furthermore, it generates more super energy per kill compared to other weapons by a pretty significant margin. To compare, here are two clips of me killing the same amount of enemies, one using Red Death and the other using Bad Juju. My intellect is 0 to reduce the amount of passive super energy I gain over time. After everything is dead, 4 Shanks, 3 Dregs, and 2 Vandals, we can see how much more super energy I generated from this, and it is 228% more super energy compared to Red Death. This is a very noticeable and very significant boost to super energy gains. As for the recommended upgrades, you can be pretty flexible with what you choose. In the first column, the only thing I don't recommend is soft ballistics, as reducing this weapon's already weak damage is not recommended. In the second column, nearly anything you pick is going to be good, but it all depends on what content you're doing. Perfect Balance doesn't seem like a large upgrade stat-wise, but it is pretty noticeable. Armor-piercing rounds has value in situations where you're in tight spaces, and Send It is better for mid to long range encounters. For PvP, armor-piercing rounds used to be incredibly good on snipers, but with their recent nerf, I don't think they're as valuable, and I don't think they're as valuable on Bad Juju as they are on snipers. Bad Juju is a very unique weapon. In solo PvE, it essentially enables you to endlessly fire the weapon and pump out non-stop supers, tremendously boosting your uptime. As long as you are accurate, you will never have to stop for anything. Voidwalker Warlocks with Obsidian Mind can really pump out supers, making it a solid weapon for the Abyss in Crota's End. However, even with its buff, I don't think this enters the S tier of weapons overall, but it is much more usable than what it used to be and definitely deserves to be considered in the upper tier. It ends up falling flat against high health targets and majors, and becomes less effective in group play due to the fact that you might not be getting all of the killing blows. In PvP, it has potential and should be used in a more active role due to its high rate of fire and ability to be fired in full auto. Its range is not very strong though, so very long range engagements should be avoided when possible. Using Send It for PvP helps to try and counteract the low range of the weapon though. However, I've had the most success in PvP using the weapon in the close mid-range, playing very aggressively. Your results may vary depending on your style of play. The buff to Bad Juju combined with the buff to pulse rifles makes this a very solid weapon overall. Your uptime will be unmatched, you'll be blasting supers non-stop, and blazing through anything that you need to destroy. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.